This is the cell and cell processes test. Identify the choices that best complete the statement or answer the question. Number 1, the picture shows a student using a microscope to study a prepared slide for a single-celled organism. A single-celled organism can be classified as a prokaryote based on the absence of A, a cell membrane, B, ribosomes, C, chromosomes, or D, a nucleus. Number 2, which molecule synthesized by plants is a major source of energy for cellular process in both plants and animals? Is it A, wax, B, nucleic acid, C, glucose, or D, chlorophyll? Number 3, the picture shows a contractile vacuole of a unicellular fresh organism. The contractile vacuole regulates the flow of water into and out of the cell in an aquatic environment. What conditions cause the contractile vacuole to fill with water? Is it A, the concentration of water is greater outside the cell than inside the cell? B, the temperature of water in the vacuole is higher than the temperature of its environment? C, the concentration of water inside the cell is the same as the concentration of water outside the cell? Or D, the temperature of water in the vacuole is lower than the temperature of its environment? Let's look at A again. A is the concentration of water is greater outside the cell than inside the cell. Number 4. This diagram shows a cellular activity across the cell membrane. Which two processes does this diagram most directly model? If you look over there at the side, it says glucose in high concentrations outside the cell. Then we have the cell membrane, and glucose in low concentration inside the cell. A, energy conversion and synthesis of new molecules. B, synthesis of new molecules in homeostasis. C, transport of molecules and energy conversion. Or D, homeostasis and transport of molecules. Number 5, cells can generate as many as 36 to 38 molecules of ATP from the metabolism of one molecule of glucose. Which cellular process results in this amount of ATP? She had it written on the board. Is it A, anaerobic cellular respiration, B, protein synthesis, C, aerobic cellular respiration, or D, photosynthesis? Number 6, some students use vinegar to dissolve away the shell of three eggs and use these eggs as models of human red blood cells. The student observes a change in the egg when they are placed in different solutions. Which statement best describes the role of the cell membrane in this model? Is it A, the cell membrane is impermeable barrier that prevents water from entering the cell? B, the cell membrane allows solutes to enter the cell, which causes the cell to shrink? C, the cell membrane allows water to enter and leave the cell? Or D, the cell membrane removes solutes from the environment? Number 7, some students use information they gather from lab investigations to prepare a table. They entered the table in their lab notebook. Which of these correctly identifies the two cells described in the table? We have cell 1 is smaller than a micrometer, does not have a nucleus, does not have a membrane-bound organelle, and has circular DNA. Cell 2 is larger than the 10 micrometers, has a membrane-bound nucleus, has membrane-bound organelles, and has linear DNA. Is it A, cell 1 is eukaryote and cell 2 is prokaryote? B, cell 1 is prokaryote and cell 2 is eukaryote? C, both cells 1 and 2 are eukaryote? Or D, both cells 1 and 2 are prokaryote? Number 8, which group of organelles is directly responsible for the production of new molecules within a cell? Is it A, ribosomes, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi apparatus? B, the Golgi apparatus, ribosomes, and the plasma membrane? C, the endoplasm reticulum, plastids, and vacuoles? Or D, the nucleus, vacuoles, and ribosomes? Number 9, The cellular process known as sodium-potassium pump was discovered in the 1950s by Jean Christian Suchet, a Danish scientist. This process is a form of active transport that moves 3 sodium ions to the outside of a cell for every 2 potassium ions that move into the cell. Which of these best explains why energy is needed for active transport? A. Ions are negatively charged. B. Ions are attached to large proteins. C. Ions are trapped inside the plasma membrane. Or D. Ions are moved against a concentration gradient. Number 10. Which of these statements explains the process of energy conversion that takes place in the mitochondria? Is it A. Energy is required for both carbon dioxide molecules to form 6 carbon sugar molecules. B. Water molecules and radiant energy are necessary for anaerobic respiration to take place. C. Oxygen molecules release energy in the form of heat during combustion reaction. Or D. The energy in the bonds of glucose molecules is transferred to the phosphate bonds in ATP. Number 11. Both Euglena and cyanobacteria are photosynthetic unicellular organisms found in ponds. The feature that distinguishes Euglena from cyanobacteria is A. The ability to maintain homeostasis. B. The presence of ribosomes. C. Ability to reproduce. Or D. Presence of a nuclear membrane. Number 12. Which cellular process takes place in the ribosomes that are bound to the endoplasmic reticulum? Is it A. The breakdown of waste materials? B. The conversion of radiant energy to glucose? C. Synthesis of new proteins? Or D. The replication of nucleic acid? 13. Which of the following correctly describes how a diagram of cellular respiration would differ from a diagram of photosynthesis? A. The cellular respiration diagram would show electromagnetic waves as the final product. B. The cellular respiration diagram would show glucose as the main source of energy. C. The cellular respiration diagram would show energy stored in large protein molecules. Or D. The cellular respiration diagram would show water as the main source of chemical energy. Number 14. Most plants' leaves take in more carbon dioxide as a light increases. They give off carbon dioxide, but the light intensity is too low. The graph shows a plant carbon dioxide level at different light intensities. At point X, the rate of which this process is equal to the rate of photosynthesis. If you're listening to this video, you will get this answer correct because the answer is A, cellular respiration. Number 15. Diatoms are one of the most common types of phytoplankton in the marine habitat. Like plants, diatoms contain chlorophyll and produce glucose from which of the following? Is it A, O2 and ATP, B, CO2 and oxygen, O2, C, ATP and H2O, which is water, or D, CO2, which is carbon dioxide, and H2O. 16. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration both involve the use and release of gases. Which statement correctly identifies the roles of gases in the two processes? A. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration both use carbon dioxide and release oxygen. B. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration both use oxygen and release carbon dioxide. C. Cellular respiration uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, while photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. Or D. Cellular respiration uses carbon dioxide and releases oxygen, while photosynthesis uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Number 17. Which statement best describes the relationship between the product of photosynthesis and the reactant in cellular respiration? Is it A, the product of photosynthesis serves as a reactant in the cellular respiration to provide chemical energy? B, the product of photosynthesis combined with the reactant in cellular respiration to remove ATP from cells? C. The products of photosynthesis inhabit reactants to cellular respiration in the presence of light. Or D. The product of photosynthesis changes the structure of the reactant in cellular respiration in the presence of light. Number 18. Which of the following is arranged in the order of increasing level of organization? A. Molecule atom cell. B. Cell atom molecule. C. Atom molecule cell. Or D. Cell molecule atom. 19. Which of the following functions at the same organizational level as the kidney in the human excretory system? Is it A. Skeleton, B. Epithelial tissue, C. Urinary bladder, or D. A squamous cell? And number 20. Recent studies in bone research indicate that using ultrasound on a broken bone can decrease the healing time 25%. Which of these are the most basic levels of organization involved with bone heals? Is it A. Cells and tissue, B. Cells and organ systems, C. Organ systems and organisms, or D. Tissue and organ systems? Be sure and put all your answers on your paper and turn it in.